Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Pineapple Heads Unite. I just wanted to quickly give you guys an update on where the bus is at right now. So, the main things that I've done recently is the electrical wiring, the propane plumbing, the water plumbing is pretty much all done, except for I have to finish up the drain on the kitchen sink. I'm going to put a gray water tank directly in the bus right under the sink, just a small one, and I haven't gotten that tank yet, so that's not permanent yet, but I have a bucket there right now so I can kind of show you how it works. Alright guys, so we'll just run through each of these systems one by one real quick. I'll just start right here with this switch box here, the switch panel. So the voltage readout here is the voltage coming from my battery bank, which is underneath the bed here. Beside it I have two USB ports and then a regular 12 volt socket there. This first switch is just controlling these two outlets and the voltage readout, so I can shut all that off. As you can see, that LED will go out, so all that's off. The second one here controls my water pump, and the third one is for my fridge. The last three aren't being used right now, so they're extra until I wire up maybe some lights or something to those. I obviously have to relabel all of these. They came pre-labeled, but for right now, that's how that works. Behind this panel actually kind of clips in there. It's a bit of a pain to get off, but if you need to, you can just pull it out. So I'll show you what's behind there. If we come around the back, the reason that panel's there is because behind it you can access the fuse box. So if we're looking through the back here, there's my fuse box, and right over there would be where that panel is, so you can just reach through there and get to the fuses. Obviously I have three fuses right now, one for the outlets, one for the fridge, and one for the water pump. My water pump is mounted right here close to it, and there's my lines going up to my sink and my bucket for my temporary drain right now. So come out here, just show you my battery bank real quick. So I've got 4 batteries here. I'm gonna put some kind of straps or tie downs that go over them, obviously, before I start doing any trips or anything, but for right now I just have them built in to these little pockets where they sit. They're all wired in parallel, and this wire coming through the side here is a wire that I left from the original bus. Had a wheelchair lift here which had power coming back to it, so I rerouted this large wire underneath the bus to go where I need, and what it does is it carries power back from the engine, from the alternator, when I'm driving. So another thing I installed as part of the electrical system is this multi-battery isolator, and basically all that does is it ties into the back of my alternator and it separates the engine battery. There'll be 2 engine batteries, and the coach batteries back there are my battery bank, so that I can't drain my engine battery when I run my appliances, but I can charge my coach batteries, my battery bank, when my engine's running using the alternator. So the next system we'll go over will be the water system here. So I just installed this today. Just got it in the mail the other day. It is a freshwater inlet, so this is where I'll fill my freshwater tank right here. I haven't decided yet, but I might switch this key out for just a regular old knob, so I don't have to worry about having a key because it's already inside my bus anyway. But that just runs through this tube right here, right into my freshwater tank, and this other line is a breather line, so air can escape the tank. And also, if you start to overfill your tank, it should come out there. It'll come out right where that inlet is. Obviously I plumbed a line coming out of the bus into my water heater. I also put a valve to shut that off. I intend to have that shut off most of the time. if we look beside the tank here, here is the output of the tank going to my water pump, and over there is my drain on the freshwater tank, which goes straight to the floor. I'll show you that in a little bit. Here's the actual water pump, and then you can see it connects to the sink lines. I put a line on both the hot and cold, even though I don't have hot water plumbed into this, so the water temperature is just the temperature of the water in the tank. But I wanted to put one on both lines, so I just put a T there. Got 2 T's. I had to get an extra line to come over to the water heater. So I told you guys that my next video would be when I had running water, so here we go. You can hear the pump running. If I shut it off, the pump pressures the system back up, pump shuts off. Real quick, I'll just show you guys that drain that I was talking about. So coming from the tank, it comes straight to the floor. I used a piece of PEX then, so it'd be a little stiffer than that rubber tubing that I was using. And then if I turn this valve on, that's just gonna let gravity drain out my fresh water tank. The third and final sort of system on here that I finished up will be the propane system. So here's a regulator which will screw into a propane tank just like you'd use it on your grill, right? And then it splits. One side goes straight to my outdoor water heater, and I installed a shutoff valve there so I can keep that off unless I'm using the water heater. The other line comes here and meets up to a copper line before it goes into the bus. Then if we come around and look inside, you can see that copper line comes in, then it follows along this ledge where it's hooked down, and it follows that ledge all the way back to where my fridge is. So I'll just show you that real quick. I just have my fridge plugged in right now to make sure it's working on AC. I already tested it on propane to make sure that was working, but there, if you can kind of see, that propane line comes in there, comes around, hooks in, is on its way back to my fridge. That propane line has a T in it, that copper line, which I'll show you real quick. You can see it. There's the T, and then it has a rubber hose which just goes right up into my stove. There's my stove, so that runs as well. So all of my appliances work, all of my systems are good to go inside. So I appreciate you guys watching, those of you who are tuning in for these, and I'll try and keep you guys updated as I make progress. Again, no promises on when it's going to happen. I'd like for it to happen soon, but we all know how that goes. So I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.